Hey patrons, this is the thing that I've been trying to do for, honestly, months now. I really want to give you guys recommendations all the time, and part of it is that typing it out is difficult, but apparently finding time to do it is even more difficult. So tonight, what I'm going to do is this is an exclusive Patreon-only video, and I'm going to go through the Marvel and DC catalogs. I'm going to give you my recommendations for this month, and my hope is that by Sunday I will have recommendations for the rest of the catalog, and then you guys can get your orders in, which are due on Monday. Get those orders in, but this video is going to be exclusively for our patrons. So without further ado, I'm currently flipping through the Marvel Previews catalog. As you may know, I've had a whole lot of disdain for Marvel lately because what they're doing with the exclusives and the variants and the extra titles, and there's just so many things. I got really tired of what happened with War of the Realms. There were too many books coming out, and while Agents of Atlas is super cool, there's so many other parts that I just thought were kind of convoluted. So I'm flipping through and skipping all of the Powers of 10 and House of X stuff, because there's really not that much of it that I'm interested in, and really I just think that's a deep rabbit hole to get into. So as I'm flipping through the catalog, the first thing that I noticed, well, other than Absolute Carnage, which is like 40 pages long, this really awesome Stephen Mooney Black Widow cover. Now, the new story is called Web of Black Widow. It's a 5-issue miniseries, and I know there's a bunch of variants, but this is the main cover. I love the Mooney cover on this, and this is gorgeous. I'm a big fan of the current Black Widow series. I like all of the stuff that's happening with it. The variant cover with Merca doing it is absolutely beautiful. And this is another one of those that, you know, with the Black Widow and the Natasha and Yelena stuff coming out, this is kind of a good bet to get in on, even if you just like the story. The next one I picked, this one looks good too. King Thor. And I am a really big fan of any of these variants, but this is the normal, I'm going to say it wrong, Esad Rabih variant, but King Thor looks stunning. And you know why? Because Jason Aaron's writing it. And Jason Aaron has just been absolutely killing Conan the Barbarian lately, and he's really a fantastic writer. I loved his Doctor Strange run, so he's going to do a great job with King Thor, and I think this is definitely one to get on the ground for. It's a 4-issue miniseries, and this is number 1. The other ones I liked from the Marvel this month were... oh my god. Okay. I put a star next to Savage Avengers number 5, because if you're not reading Savage Avengers, do it. Find the issues, get the graphic novel. It is really, really a good thing. By the way, I'm on a new camera, and I have no idea where I'm supposed to be looking to make this look like at the camera. So I'll figure this troubleshooting out later, but getting the video and the information out was more important than making it look perfect this time. Sorry. But yes, I'm really, really liking Savage Avengers right now. It's a fantastic read. It is definitely worth getting in on. Go get copies and start it as soon as you can. It is cool to see something called The Avengers that is so bloody and dark and crazy. I mean, you know, Elektra and Conan and Venom and Wolverine and the Punisher all in the same Avengers team. I mean, this is not your mom's Avengers, man. This is awesome. I think I only had one more pick in the Marvel book. Oh yes, and this one is a throwback. I'm flipping through the book and popped across this. And this makes me feel like the 1980s all over again. And it's got Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz doing a one-shot for New Mutants. New Mutants War Children. It's $5. There's apparently variant covers, but why would you ever need a variant cover when that's your main cover? This is not a spec book. This is not anything I think is going to be worth anything. This is just a gorgeous book by one of the finest artists and one of the best writers in Marvel history, and I think this was going to be a great one to enjoy. Moving quickly, DC previews. As some of you may know, I'm a little bit more of a DC fanboy than a Marvel fanboy, so I do take my time with these. And there's still a lot of things going on. We've got that whole Deceased going on, and it's been a good read. Still not quite certain where all the Year of the Villain stuff is going to go. So there's some one-shots that I'll be recommending, and if they're heavy plot-wise, that's great, and if they're not, they're not. Oh, 2 things I noticed right off the bat. I'm going to show you really quickly. So I have Supergirl 34, the Derek Chu variant. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. And, oh, by the way, Catwoman 15, this Michelle Pfeiffer Art Germ variant yeah, get copies. I mean, just, I don't even care what the story is. These are things I want on my wall. They're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. You know, and it's nice to have a little bit of a reminder that Michelle Pfeiffer at one point in time did play Catwoman and played it pretty well. No offense to Halle Berry. Here's another one. Heroes in Crisis. And this is the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Ooh, look at Harley and Poison. There's a variant for each of them. Oh yeah, and Archerm does them both. So, even if you're not into reading the series of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, he's going to do a variant cover for both of them. I have not seen photos of them, but you can be pretty darn assured that it's going to be great art. Speaking of great art, I have so many high hopes for this right now. Now, Harley Quinn is overly popular. Same thing with Deadpool. It's one of those that I think both Marvel and DC are beating these respective properties to death. And Harley Quinn can definitely get to the point where she's unlikable because you see her too often. So now that we have a Black Label Harleen that is going to do a little bit more of a backstory with her, I was skeptical until I saw the art. This is Stepan Sajic, who did about 80 issues of Witchblade. He's stunning. The art he does is just mind-blowing. Doing the covers and the interiors on this. He's writing it too. I mean, it's one of those things that it's a passion project and it's by someone who is absolutely gorgeous. If you don't know anything about this artist, go check him out. And this is in the same oversized magazine cover. There's supposed to be 3 issues of this, and yes, it will be oversized, and I'm just really, really looking forward to this and reading it when it comes out, gosh, in September. Oof, get your orders in, though. What else did I like for DC? Oh, the DC's Good Way to Die. I mean, I'm going to make fun of DC Zombies a little bit, but these have just been great. The Mattina covers are fantastic. The Yasmin Putri movie cover is incredible. I mean, and they've been good reads. They really have been enjoyable. And the variant covers are why they're selling, but they're worth reading. They absolutely, absolutely are. Curse of the White Knight looks interesting. Number 1 will be out next week. Action Comics 1015, we're still doing more things with Naomi. I'm excited to find out a little bit more about what's going on with her, but I'm not going to ask anyone to go a whole hog anymore. What else? Batman Superman looks okay. Yeah, this Catwoman. Oh, by the way, Catwoman 15's interior art is done by Mirka Andolfo, who wrapping up Unnatural right now and starting a new series. I think the character's called Glory, but she's a friend of the show. She's a friend of mine and Tom's, and we are really excited to have her doing more stuff. And it's great to have her working on more DC books. Oh, I don't know. These Flash variants have always been good. Harley, Frank Cho. I mean, it's just kind of stuff we're expecting at this point in time. I don't know. I'm flipping quickly just in case I missed something. Teen Titans 34, Lobo's daughter. I mean, if they ever bring her into the universe, I think we'll care some more. Wonder Woman 78 and 79, still Jenny Frison, still gorgeous. I mean, just these covers that are so good. And I think that's about it. I mean, quite honestly, that's not a ton of recommendations. I think that's 4 or 5 books from both Marvel and DC. Sometimes it's cover art, sometimes it's the writer. I'm just giving the recommendations that I like. Hopefully you like them. And if you're not into any of these, that's totally cool too, because I'm going to have another video coming out really soon with more of my indie recommendations as well as my image recommendations. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Email me, millgeekcomicspatreon@gmail.com if you have any questions about the pull box, and get those orders in. Your deadline is Monday. Have a good night. Geek responsibly.